Hello and welcome to our Wednesday webinar, Mastering Your CRM Expert Live Coaching Session. Today you have myself, Glenn, and our main host, the incomparable and amazing Heather, who I will let introduce herself.
Hi, thanks for joining us today. So we're going to focus on going over your CRM. And before we jump in, we just have a couple things that we need to cover. My name's Heather. I'm an onboarding coach. So maybe you've met with me one-on-one. If not, then you get to have us today. And if you have any questions, please ask away because that's what we're here for today. All right. So like I just said, if you have any questions, we do have a chat at the bottom of your screen. On your Zoom screen, you've got the chat there. So we are here to make sure that you get the best of your CRM. So please definitely use the chat if you do have any questions, and we'll do a little demo for you.
So one of the things that we do like to let you know is we don't just sell it and then let it go. Our team is here to help you. So if you're ever looking for a support, let us know through our chat support down in the bottom right-hand corner of all top producer products. We are available Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I like to also say 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern and any place in between. We are fully staffed by 100% real humans. We do not have robots answering our chat line. So you are going to get a real response. So with that in mind, please give them a little bit of time because they are actually investigating the issues and working them. If you do have a support issue that isn't really time sensitive, feel free to email us at support@topproducer.com. Our team will get those questions answered to you. And with any type of support, if we're not able to answer it on the first question or even first attempt, we do have a senior team who will give you a phone call and try to work through every one of your issues. Lastly, we do have our frequently asked questions and our self-help items over at support.topproducer.com. Here you can do searches for any type of support you're looking for, and we are here to help you. And as Heather said, we are offering our Zoom support through our concierge program. We have that available, and you can get all the help you need one-on-one with myself or Heather. And we're looking to add to our team, so you might get some cool people as well.
Hopefully we get some cool people. I always love how you add that there, Glenn, that we have real people in our chat. And again, that's Monday to Friday on Eastern. I'm on the east side, or I'm the eastern side of Canada. So Eastern time, it's 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. That we have the real people in the chat.
I like how you say you're on the east side. Am I supposed to sit there and go west side represent?
So we're on the opposite sides of the country from each other.
Yeah, but we get along like we're in the same office, which is scary but good, right? So let's say we jump in here. Again, as Heather said, we do like to have questions. We do like to answer questions for you. We're here to help you. So let's start. And this is where you get to have more of Heather than me because she's the better one to chat with.
And again, before I kind of jump in and start going over everything, I'm going to just quickly let you know that I do talk a little fast. So if at any time you just say, Heather, slow down, you're going too fast, please let me know and I will do that. And or if you need us to repeat something. I'm also going to apologize in advance that I do have two puppies. Well, one's a dog, one's a puppy. Sometimes I like to get out of control. And in that case, I will mute myself and Glenn will jump in.
Yeah, so if all of a sudden Heather halfway through saying something stops and I start taking over, that usually means that her little sausage dog named Frankfurter is acting up.
All right. And maybe I'll show you him at the end of the webinar. So we're gonna get started right now. Now, if you've just recently signed up for Top Producer, or maybe you've been a customer for a long time, and maybe you're using the older software 8i, you want to use TPX. Maybe you have all different reasons for why you're here. Maybe you just have one question, something you need to learn. But hopefully by now you've already received your login and your password, and that maybe you've logged in for the first time into your CRM. So we're gonna quickly go over the settings with you. I usually don't spend too long in there. They're pretty self-explanatory. If you're stuck in any of those tabs in the settings, please let us know and I will make sure to cover that as well. Otherwise, I'm just going to kind of quickly show you where to go and we're going to kind of fly through the tabs. And the reason why we do this too is because we do have a lot of stuff to cover in a short time. So when you log into Top Producer for your first time, first you're going to go to crm.topproducer.com and you're going to use your username and password that you would have received when you first signed up. And so when you log in, you have two places to get to your settings. You either have the very bottom left corner or you have the very top right corner, maybe where your picture is at if you've already got in here and started adding some information. If not, it'll be like a silhouette where your picture will go and there's a drop down and you can go to settings that way as well. So once we're in the settings, I suggest starting right at the top and just kind of working your way through each tab. That's probably the easiest way to go. Obviously, the more information you put in here, the better use you're going to get of your CRM. Now, for my information, I always highly suggest that this information you put in here does go onto your marketing. So you do want to be very careful that this, right where Glenn is circling here, you want to make sure that this is your address. It's not your personal home address. It would be your broker's address, like your office where you work. You can put your personal address. I don't recommend it because it will go into your marketing. Same with phone numbers, email addresses, website, any information in here. You want to be happy that your customers are going to see this information. Okay.
Yeah, especially also social media links. This day and age of people going after social media and doing all that info, I would definitely be, for safety reasons, say go with your business one and don't have it interact with anything to do with your personal life.
Absolutely. And at the very bottom, before you hit save, make sure that your time zone is correct because it does go based on like any tasks you have or appointments you make. It goes based on your time zone. So you want to make sure the time zone is correct. Otherwise, you could be very early or even worse, very late for a meeting. So definitely make sure your location time zone is correct and then hit save. Anytime you make any changes, hit save in the bottom right corner. Does it look like we have a question?
Dean says, where are we? I just logged in. So Dean, if you've just logged in, you should be seeing this page. You can either get to settings from the bottom left hand or by clicking on this icon right beside the search button in the top right and go into settings. And then we were just going over the my information.
We just started, so you haven't really missed much.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so when you first log in, it does automatically bring you to your dashboard. We should probably kind of throw that in at the beginning. But usually I have you go to your settings right away just to make sure you get everything filled in. And then we'll go over what the other pages are as well. So once you are in the settings, again, it's at the very bottom left corner or the top right, you're going to go into your settings and each tab this is where you're putting your information. So the my information, we just covered that. Again, this goes on to any of your marketing. So if you have market snapshots that go out, this information will be on there. So very important that you're happy with the information you put in here for clients to see. Notifications. A lot of these are also optional. They're not mandatory to fill in. But like they're there for you if you want that extra like so for notifications. I know I need them. Anytime I have something coming up, I have to put it on my calendar and then I need that reminder. Sometimes I need to be reminded 3 times. And it's not that I'm necessarily forgetful, but I have a busy life like most people do. So then you're just like, oh yeah, I remember I got to do this, right? Especially if it's something that's booked in advance. So notifications is really cool here. So if you have new leads that come directly into your CRM, you could be notified by your cell phone, like by text or email, or you can do one or the other. Totally up to you. Same with task reminders. This is for you to be notified that you have that phone call you need to make, or that you have an appointment coming up, or emails to send it. Anything that you want to have that reminder about, you can set that up and be reminded. If you don't want to have too many, because I know I've actually spoke to people that are like, no, I don't need any more reminders. And as long as you come in here every day, then you might not need to turn that on. Calendar sync, if you do use a digital calendar on your phone, or like if you use like a Gmail calendar or something like that, you can come in here and sync your calendar. So anything you add on here will go onto your Gmail calendar, or anything that you add on your Gmail calendar will come over here as well. Contact sync and import contacts. They're kind of right below. I always suggest importing your contacts first. If you have a CSV file with contacts there, make sure that you import first. Importing is fairly easy. You're going to choose your file. It has to be a CSV file. And then you're going to go through a mapping process. If anything you leave, it says not mapped, just remember that information will not come over. So you want to make sure that you map everything accordingly. If you're having a hard time with that, please reach out to us and let us know. If you're unsure, ask us and we will help you with that. But try to import first before you do the sync, so that way you don't get any duplicates come across. Also, you might not import or do contact sync. You might just add your contacts manually one by one. Totally up to you how you want to do this.
Okay. Hang on,
Sorry.
Heather. Dean, could you look up here in the top in the address bar and tell me if it does say crm.topproducer.com? Because if yours doesn't look like ours, I'm wondering if you're in Top Producer 8i.
Oh, possibly.
Because it will look, we have two programs. I'm going to open up the other one here just so we have it. Okay, so you're in X. Are you not seeing the settings on the side and going down through these icons? Because again, you can get to settings through the bottom left or through the icon just to the right there and then clicking on settings. We're just going through the settings right now.
Oh, so it's hard to see.
I would hope it wouldn't be too hard to see. I see that now.
Okay, so you might have, when we were going through the calendar, you might have clicked on the calendar on the far left-hand bar versus clicking on the tab under the settings. Sometimes that happens.
Yeah, this is
So
what the calendar actually looks like.
yeah, but right now, in order to, well, you can still use the calendar without doing the calendar sync, but we're just focusing on the settings right now, putting your information in there. And you can always just kind of listen and come back here after and fill out that information if you don't have it in there yet. Again, most things in here are optional. It's not mandatory to put in, but you are going to get the best use of your CRM the more information you do put in here.
Yeah, and do keep in
So
mind this video will be uploaded to YouTube later, and all of our past webinars are there. So if you ever need a video to check it out again, we have that information available for you.
yeah, so again, you want to go to your settings. It's either in the very bottom left corner. Oh, mine says this calendar sync. Yep. So if you go to calendar sync, let's go down there again. Oh, you are on calendar sync. Sorry.
Yep.
I don't know if maybe if you already have your email in there, Dean, then it should say start sync or but this is what it'll look like before you put an email address in. Now, also, Dean, depending on what kind of device you're using, if are you using a bigger device where you can see this, or if you on your cell phone where everything's a little bit more compressed. Dell laptop, okay. All mine says is calendar sync.
Okay. Dean, you may need to reach out to our support team if you're having errors like that. It also might be it may be a viewing error on the, not viewing error, but the zoom on your browser may be a little bit too high up. Are you not seeing the My Information notifications or?
No, step one. Okay, so he's not seeing the step one authorization, I'm guessing. So yeah, okay. Another suggestion too is like if you can zoom out on it, maybe if you can if you're on your top producer, if maybe you can sign out and sign back into it and go into your settings again. Keep going.
Okay.
Awesome. All right. So we did kind of jump over contact sync and import contacts. Again, if you're going to do one or two of them, make sure to import first and then do your contact sync. But if you don't do either, that's okay. You can do it manually, one by one, adding contacts, and we'll show you how to do that after as well. Email integration. Now, this is an important one because this is where, like, if you're sending emails to your contacts from top producer X, you want to make sure that this is the email address you put in here is the email address you want your customers to see. So if you're using a Gmail account, this is where you're going to put it in. Just follow the steps. It's pretty simple to set it up. Again, if you do have any, if you're stuck on anything trying to set up your email integration, please let us know. Also, another important one to set up right after your email integration is your signature. So this isn't, this is just like a signature block that you usually see at the end of your email, which would say like your name, maybe it says realtor and it says what broker you work for, and then it would have like your email address, your website, your phone number, that sort of stuff. So you definitely really want to make sure that you have a, you know, a nice looking email signature. It will add on to every email that you send out from there. If you leave this empty, you could just be sending blank emails with no contact information. So definitely want to make sure that you put something in here. Lead providers, if you are now, you should see something already filled out if you did fill out your notification. Now this here, you're going to see your address, which would likely say your name dot last name at myleads.io, or it'll be your username at myleads.io. So if you are, excuse me, I'm sorry. If you are bringing in any leads from an online source, such as realtor.com or maybe your website or something like that, you can take this email address and have it added to the back end. So if you get leads that come in, maybe it comes in directly to your email address, then you can have it set up so your leads go directly into your CRM. That way you don't have to get them and then type them in manually. So that's nice. Another cool thing about having them come directly in is that you can set them up with an auto lead response rule, which means they'd automatically get emails, automatically get texts and market snapshots and that sort of thing if they come in directly from online. So that's another option there. Do we have any questions we need to answer here? Seeing.
No, I'm answering them as they come up. Just
oh,
Dean's having a bit of issue with the font size.
you
Yeah,
know, I don't necessarily disagree because well, I don't think I'm old. I'm only in my 40s and I'm wearing glasses and it's pretty small for me, like looking at Glen's screen here. So,
it's
but
probably because I am sharing it. I am on a 27-inch monitor myself, but it
yeah.
does have to scale down when sharing. So I do apologize. That is one of the downsides to technology. It has to fit to everybody's
Mhm.
devices. You can use Top Producer on most any type of screen. So it is something that should be able to work.
Yeah.
And depending on the size of your screen, you might have to just let me go to
You
F.
can zoom in on your screens.
Yeah, I
That
was
would
just
just
gonna
mean you just
say,
would have to make sure that you either like move it to the left or the right or whatnot, right? So like any screen that you have, um you can increase the content
yeah,
so you can see it.
yeah, you can just use the zoom buttons in Chrome or Edge. It's always going to be under these three dots up at the top, and you would just change the zoom size, and that would make it a little bit easier. Maybe I'll increase mine to 110 just to make it a little bit easier for people to see.
Can you do that now, or did you do that?
Just did.
It's at 110?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe we can bring it up a little bit higher.
Okay.
Control plus worked yet?
How's that? Are you noticing it?
That's a little bit better.
Yeah, Control Plus also is another way to do it.
Better. Okay, perfect. So we did the lead providers, market snapshot. So if we do support your MLS board and you have market snapshot, then you're going to have this set up here. You're going to want to make sure that all these little check marks are like they're all toggled on. And even though it says for buyers, you still want to send them the solds. And I will explain this reasoning why later. I do think it's very important to show your customers what the market looks like. All mine says is the request is demo. So it would say that if you don't have market snapshot, that is, I believe,
Yours says request demo.
mine says is a request demo. And he does have
Okay.
market snapshot.
All right, I'll take a look at that. Dean, I'm going to put a note for myself to take a look at your account after. Okay, my friend? It might just need to be relinked.
And I'm going to get you to scroll all the way down to the bottom if you're in here and make sure that this little guy at the bottom is turned on. By default, he's not. So you want to make sure just want to make sure that this check mark is turned on. And the reason for this is that any leads that come directly into your CRM, if they come in with a mean email address and a zip code, they will or in Canada, a postal code, they will automatically get a market snapshot sent to them. And then make sure to save your market snapshot settings. And we'll go to the next is MLS credentials. Awesome. So in order to send market snapshot and really to pull anything from the MLS, you want to make sure that you add your MLS board. When you are setting it up, you click on add MLS credentials, make sure to type it in because otherwise it's a long list and you could be scrolling for a while. So go in here, type in your MLS and then your MLS ID says failed. Okay. And another thing, Dean, here, if you have any letters in there in your username, try uppercase. If you have any dashes, make sure to take them out. Sometimes it's just all numbers. But it could be that if you have any initials, they need to be in uppercase and not lowercase. Try that, Dean, see if that worked for you. If you tried, I don't know how to try again. Yeah, you can just, so if it says failed, you should just be able to click on add MLS again and like the same thing will pop up, or this should still be on your screen that you can just delete the username and try it again. And then the username also by default will automatically pull your username for top producer. That's not your username for your MLS. You're using your MLS username. So when you sign into your MLS, what username do you use? It's usually, a lot of cases, it's always numbers. Sometimes there's initials on it. The very odd time, I've seen people that have a name or like maybe their last name and initial or something as a username as well. Not as often. But yeah, so if you, let's close here. I'm just going to quickly show them like how to, so if you go in here again, you're going to click on the top. Now you might not have anything in here and it'll just say add MLS credentials. And then, yep, let's go ahead and click on here. And then again, you're going to search your board. So you don't have anything that says add MLS credentials. Maybe if you have your screen zoomed in, maybe try and go up further up the top of your page and more to the right. Just try and scroll up your page. If you have everything zoomed in on your page, you might not be seeing it because it might be higher up.
You might need to click Control minus just to get a little bit less screen. But keep the situations here. We'll make sure somebody's going to reach out to you after this webinar and see what's going on. You'll either be myself or Heather. We're going to give you a call afterwards and see what's going on for you. Okay, sir? We want you getting the best experience. I want to check your account, but one of us will call you.
Absolutely. All right, so let's go ahead and close here. Once you have your MLS credentials set up, team management is only if you belong to a team and you're going to have other agents under you that you're sharing your CRM with, and this is where you would come in to add them. Texting, this again is optional too, just a heads up. I think it was about this time last year, August, September. So I guess, wow, it's been over a year, that the it's been over a year now that the FCC came out with a new law in the States that if you are going to use texting through, yeah, mine says register, exactly. So if you haven't registered yet and you want to, just so you are aware, there was a new law that came out last year from the FCC in the States that you do have to register your phone number through the FCC. So you can go through the steps to register. It's very simple to register. However, once you do that, it leaves from us and it goes to the FCC until they approve it, and then you'll come back and you'll get your number. It could take a week, it could take several weeks. I do see it's happening a little bit faster now, which is great to see. I know it was backed up for a while because they did all the programs across the states all at the same time instead of spread out a bit. But looks like they're a little bit more caught up now. so how this works, if you do decide to use the texting, is that you have your cell number. When it gets registered through the FCC, again, that's out of our hands, but once it gets registered through them and you're all set up, we provide you a new number through Top Producer. It'll stay the same all the time. That is, it's not your social
No,
security, it's your employment identification number. So
the
your
business social security, basically. It should be a 9-digit number. I believe it's 2, then a dash, and then 7. Just don't use the dash. If you don't have one, it's okay. You can just say, I don't have one.
Mhm.
Sorry, Heather, I caught that one out of the corner.
No, not a problem. So if you do set this up, how it's going to work though is that, again, this is only if you're texting from Top Producer. If you still want to text from your phone, that is separate. If you want to text from Top Producer, anyone you text will see this new number from Top Producer. And I hear some people say, oh, well, so it's not going to be my phone number. Nobody knows that. I mean, very few. I know myself, and I know most people I know don't recognize people's numbers anymore. They recognize it by putting that person in their phone. If they just see a number, I mean, unfortunately, we just don't live that way, at that age anymore, right?
Well, let's put it this way. I've been married for 16 and a half years, and I don't know my wife's phone number. It's
Well,
just in my phone as the wife's name. So
yeah,
yeah,
I don't
phone
know my
numbers.
partner's number. That's his name in my phone.
Yep.
So I mean, to me, I don't think it's really a big deal that the number is going to be different. You do just want to, and they try really hard to make the first 3 numbers the same. So then that way the area code is the same. They know you're local. So what I would suggest doing is that when you text for the first time, just say like, hey, this is Heather, or this is Glenn, or whoever you are, from where you're texting from and who you are. And then just say like, add me in your phone and we can text through here instead of email or whatever the case is. The great thing about this though, is that you will get notified. So if somebody texts you at this number, you will get notified on your phone saying you have a text from so-and-so at Top Producer. If somebody calls this text number, it will ring to your phone. So you're not going to miss anything that way. Okay. UI settings is user interface settings. I wouldn't worry about this until you feel a little bit more comfortable with having set everything up. This is where you can either change some of the default dates for your transactions and tasks and such, and or contact types. You can change colors. So I personally like this because I like to kind of get a little colorful, and just have it pop out a bit more. So any types that you add, and you're going to hear me later tell you how important I think types are. And I think everyone should be using them because it makes your job so much easier, especially as a realtor when you're short on time. Using your types is going to put your people in the right groups and the right categories. So you can add some color to your CRM from here. Zillow Connect is if you are a Zillow Premier agent, or I believe if you were, you could still set that up and it will just bring over your Zillow leads that you had into here, as well as it'll show you the dashboard that you have through Zillow. All right, so we've covered the settings pretty quickly. Hopefully everyone's already set up. If not, again, if you have any questions, I know Dean, we're going to get back to you. So don't worry. We got you in good hands here. All right. So one of the great things about using a CRM is your follow-up coach. And this is essential for keeping in touch with your contacts, because those contacts that you've helped sell a house or maybe help buy their first home or whatever the case is, they're going to be repeat contacts, and if not, referrals. So I think following up with your contacts is very important. That's what we think here at Top Producer. And we've given you a few different ways that you can follow up. So we're going to kind of go over those different ways to follow up. And as soon as you sign in, it gives you that option right away. So again, this is kind of where we were when we first signed in. When you first sign into Top Producer, it brings you to this page right away. This is your dashboard, or your homepage, whatever you'd like to call it. You kind of see everything on this page. Again, if you're new and you don't really have much stuff added, you're not going to see much. If you're new and you don't have more than 25 contacts in your CRM, or you just added them like an hour or two ago, you're not going to see anything in the follow-up coach yet. So don't worry, they will appear when needed. But you do have to have, I think, more than 25 contacts for that to show. Is that right? 25,
Yeah.
give or take?
Yeah.
And that you didn't just upload them. And you'll see them there. You'll see your sales pipes where your contacts are in. You can actually get to different things like in your CRM from this page as well. So I think it's great. And one of the things I really like about this, and I like a lot about Top Producer, is it is very customizable. So what's most important to you? And you can edit your layout. So like if you scroll all the way to the bottom, you have your transactions at the bottom. And maybe your transactions are really important to you and you're like, no, I want this to be more visible when I log in. So you can edit this page and move things around. So I think that's pretty cool. And when you're happy with how the layout looks, it suits you and your business and your work routine, click the save and then you're all good to go. And this is how it's going to look when you sign in every time. So we're going to go to the contents. We're doing the follow-up. I guess I should go back to that. So you have the follow-up coach on this page when you come in here. So that's one way you're going to see the follow-up. You're also, if you go to your contacts over on the left-hand screen, you're probably going to spend a lot of time on this page. When you go to your contacts here, you also have a follow-up coach tab here that you can go directly to. Now, Glenn is so much better at explaining this. But in a short version, I'm just going to say like follow-up coach is going to give you like the people that you need to follow up with. Take it away, Glenn.
So the follow-up coach, what it's going to do is it's going to go through your database and it's going to find people that you may not have reached out to in a while. The different things we look at is anybody who's a new client, they're going to show up here within a day. If you've uploaded it, they'll show up within 3 days. Your sphere of influence, they're going to show up every 60 days because, you want to keep in touch with them. Specific people like closed and, closed, they'd be about 120 days. And anybody who is just not in anywhere specific is just a client there, you're going to see them only once every 180 days. Now, the thing that's most important to keep in mind, all 5 of these have this button that says skip. I am going to click it, and I really haven't done any type of follow-up at all for this client. So they are now at the back of the boat. So 180 days minimum for them to come back up. So let me see a follow-up on this person. Let's just say I ran into this person the other day and had a chance to chat with them. So then I can go over here and go mark done. And we'll just say phone call. Chatted with them. Oops, I can't spell. Not ready to transact. Add snapshot. So this is me just saying I should add a market snapshot to them just so they can see what's going on in their area. Once I click save wrap up, it's going to save. And when I go back over to here, I've got 2 completed. Well, one's just been fake complete, but the other here is good. This is one of those things that is there to help you because follow-up is one of those hard things to do when you guys are so busy. So coming in here, if you do 5 a day, let's say you only work 300 days out of the year because I know most of you work 365 days of the year. But if you only were to do 300 days a year, you're going to be messaging 1,500 people. So this account we have here, this test account has 505 contacts. If we did 5 per day, we'd go through the account 3 times. And if say I'm going to Starbucks to get a coffee and they're really busy, I can do this on the phone, which we will mention how to get this on your phone later. I can go through it and just say I've gotten through them. I can refresh the list and go through more. This is a great way to keep up with people. It's a great way to reach out to your repeat clients, your past clients, and even just make sure your new clients or new leads are being looked after so that a lead can turn into a client as well. How's that, Heather?
Awesome. I love it. And that's just one way that you can follow up with your contacts. So if you might be using email drip campaigns. And if that's the case and you have those automated emails already going out, you may not want to do the follow-up coach. Or you might want to do the follow-up coach and just not send them an email because you already know you have automated emails going out that maybe you're like, you know what, my follow-up's going to be sending them a market snapshot report or something to that extent. But you can do a different type of follow-up. Another way to be reminded on who you need to follow up on. This one I kind of like too, because I feel like, again, it's just kind of like in your face. So if you go to any of your tabs above, now these are your statuses on where your contacts belong. And you may or may not use your statuses. You also have types, and I am very big on using types. But I'm going to quickly go over what these tabs mean to us, like how we use them. You can use them that work better for you. But so you have your all button. This is where every single one of your contacts you add in your CRM is going to be under this button here is your all. Then you have new, engage, future, active, and closed. These are your sales pipeline. So what stages that your contacts in. So new would be for any contacts that maybe come in directly from an online source. So if you come in here in the beginning of the day and you have anyone in your new, you're like, oh, I should reach out to these people. They're new, you've had zero communication with. Or a referral gave you somebody and you type them in and they're in the new, you haven't communicated with them yet. Engaged is for contacts that you are currently engaged with. So you're communicating with them, but you're still, you're not really sure if they're a hot or a cold lead, but you're kind of, you're in communication. Future are going to be for where most of your leads are going to be at one given time, but future is for your contacts that they're like, I'm not in the market right now to buy or sell, but I will be in the future. And this is where you want to put your future contacts. And then active is the contacts that you're currently working with. You're showing them listings or helping get their place ready to list. And then close is when the transaction closes. Now, and if you quickly seen what Glenn just did there, so this is another way to follow up, which I think is so cool. On each tab, you can choose how often you want to follow up. So future every 45 days, is not that bad. You might even go maybe a little bit longer, but for each one, you're probably going to have a different data when you follow up because your active customers, you don't want to leave them more than like maybe, I don't know, like 5 days to a week without talking to them because you're actively showing them places. So you don't you want to keep engaged with them, right? So you're going to be contacting them more often than you would be your future contacts. But I think this is really cool how you can see the overdue, the follow-up, and then where it's white, it just means you're good to go. You've already followed up with them and they're not ready for a follow-up just yet. So again, it's kind of very visible for you to see who needs to be followed up with. And I think that's cool.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, also another quick thing about this tab at the top, your tabs at the top here. I love this, that you can click on any of them and drag them and put them in any order that you want. Some of them, not all, you can delete. So if you don't use that sales pipeline that we just told you about, the new, engaged, future, active, close, you can delete all those tabs. You're like, you know what? I'm not going to use the statuses. I'm just going to stick with using the types. And maybe you have your own name or something you want to use, that you want to create your own tab at the top that works best for you. Maybe it's hot leads, maybe it's ABC list, whatever it is that works for you in your business. You want to create your own tabs. Right at the very top right, you're going to see where Glenn is pointing to. It says manage tabs. It looks like a little settings icon, little settings gear right beside the add contact. You can create your own tab here. So I love this. I think this is pretty cool. And you can do this. I think the best way to do this is by types. And you can put one type into one tab, or you could put multiple types into one tab. So again, it's just dog lover, dog pommet. Can never say that right. It sounds funny. Okay.
I do that on purpose just to catch you.
Let's go create tab. And now you're going to see how easy this is. There it is at the top of your page. So those two types are now in this tab. And it tells you have a total of 13 contacts under there. When you need to contact these, maybe you want to send out an email to all the dog lovers because a new pet store just opened in town. And then you also want to say, hey, check out my new listing right around the corner from this new pet store that opened up.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Right?
Pickleball player. Yeah, pickleball is big. So that's a good contact type to have as well.
Yeah. Yes, exactly. But you can have, this is what I love. You can have any types that work for you, because you're in different parts of the country. Maybe you're in the mountains, maybe you're by the water, or maybe you're in the desert. There's all kinds of, you're all realtors, but you have different people that you work with. Maybe you have boat lovers, maybe you have football fans, maybe you have retired people, military families. Go nuts and use what works best for you. That's gonna, you're gonna remember this, right? When you see that, you're like, oh yeah, I remember who that person is, because you're gonna get hundreds. Sometimes people have thousands of names in here. And for you to remember a face, remember who that person is to every name is going to be hard to do. But having those types beside that person will kind of put like 2 and 2 together, as well as make it easy for organizations. So this is why I think it's so great. I love it. I love types. And just another, like how easy it is to search by types. So again, we put them into a tab up here, but if we didn't do that, let's just unselect these. And let's just say you want to see all the lake view. So I can see the first customer up at the very top here, our test customer has a lake view type on it. So let's go, do you see the lake view? I see it.
Yeah, I clicked on it.
Oh, did you click on lake view? Oh, okay. Oh, you froze for half a second there. Okay.
It's not that cold today.
Oh, it
Yeah,
is
it's
here.
updated to just the lake views.
It's
It's
like, it's definitely sweater weather here, and I even had the fireplace on today.
well, I've got my hoodie on as always, so
It makes me sad how like quickly summer just ended, and then it's like, bam, we're in fall, almost winter.
yeah, they're
This is
working
Ontario
me
though,
in.
right?
Remember, one day it's summer, the next day it's fall, and then after that it goes from fall and it goes one day it's fall and then it's winter.
Yeah,
Yeah. Sorry, I might freeze every now and then.
yeah, I did. You just kind of sounded a little, I don't know if it was my end or your end. But yeah, I always took the puppies out, was it last night or the night before? I was like, oh my gosh, I could see my breath in the air. That's when I know it's like I'm still wearing my Birkenstocks. I am going to for I'm going to just try and get every little bit in there I can before I have to put them away. So again, if you want to click on Lakeview, if you want to click on Glenn's making up as he any type, you click on it and it just puts them together. Just wear socks. I am terrible at wearing socks. Oh, I do got slippers on though, so that's a start. But yeah, clicking on your types and just grouping them together, because maybe you want to reach out just to that specific type for whatever the reason is. You click on it, groups them together, select them all, and send them an email, and you're done. It's literally a few clicks. It's just easy. It's in my opinion, it's easy, and then you're done. You choose your email, you select the email you want to send. You can, well, and Glenn just already sent it. You
That
could
was
have
easy.
asked, you have the, oh, so I guess I'm going to be getting an email from you shortly.
Yeah, you will. You'll ignore it like you normally do.
No, I'll actually, you know what? Just to prove how this works, when I get it, I'm going to go in, I'm going to open it up and read it so you can see that I've clicked on it. So just give me a second here.
Yes, the numbers up there is something that we actually got a request from people. So we do listen to our clients. When people make requests about what's going on with the software, they do ask us to make changes. The more people that ask for something, the quicker it is that it gets done. So the numbers up there was something that came from our clients, and we made sure to put it there. So let's
Absolutely.
see. Email.
I know I haven't received the email yet, so I'll look at all these ones that have not been read. That's
Yeah,
okay.
Heather ignores my emails. I'm wounded.
Uh, No, I haven't received the email yet, so I'll let you know.
It's all good.
So let's go ahead and close here, and we're going to finish with the follow-up. The next thing to do would be creating your email campaigns. And you can do this through marketing. We have a ton of templates already available for you to use. You can use those templates, you can customize them, and you can even add your own from scratch. And once you've done this, now again, if you're going to use email campaigns, this is like something that you would have where maybe you have an email going out. I would think weekly is almost too much. Like I feel like that might be I don't say pressuring, but you might get people either unsubscribing or deleting the emails and not reading them if it's too much. So I would try for minimum like 10 days to biweekly emails, depending on what information you're sending out. And you're going to have different, and this is the thing too, don't just target every single one of your contacts and put them all in the same plan. You want to either target people that maybe you just recently helped them buy or sell a home. So you're going to target them differently than you would with people that you worked with 5 years ago, right? And or new customers that you've never worked with that you're trying to, bring in as a client. You're going to target them differently as well. So these are things you want to think about before you, that's okay. And yours is going to be blank. So you're going to go to template library. There's a ton of templates. You can use them, you can customize them, or you can create your own from scratch. When you go into Task Plan Manager for the first time, yours is going to be empty, but you have the option to browse templates, which will show you a few templates that we've created, and you can customize them, or you can add your own plan and create your own plan from scratch as well.
I thought you were going to say futon instead of few.
I don't know what I was going
Almost
to
did say futon, didn't you? We are both naturally English speakers, but sometimes even the language catches us.
It's like called one of those things when you're talking too much.
Yes, absolutely. So, like Heather said, you can browse some of the templates we have. All you have to do is click on this button that says browse. Go ahead and browse on that. And then click in here where it says search plans by name or type. We have 3 types of plans. This is to make it easier for you. If you want one that does send the emails and text messages to your contacts or helps you set up appointments with them, you want to use a contact plan. If you want to have reminders about things you need to do with your transactions, like, a new sale, you want to put up the sign, do the MLS info, book the photographer, create a transaction plan so you have all those reminders for you. And a lead response plan, this is one of the special ones where when you get a new lead, we all know people are impatient in this day and age. So if you don't get back to them within about a minute or two, they're going to be calling or trying to find somebody else. By having this lead response, within a minute of getting a contact into your database through, say, our own lead provider service, or even realtor.com, Zillow, or any of the others, as soon as they come in, you can have it so that a lead will get a notification via email and text, just so that you know that they know that you're paying attention, and then they can get back to you and let you know when is a good time to really chat with them. But we have all these. You can use the ones we have, edit them, and make them to the way you want them, or even just create your own, as Heather said.
I always like to create my own, customize them, or create my own. And the reason for this, again, like I covered, you're all in different parts of the country, you're different realtors. I've talked to realtors that work strictly with new builds only. I've talked with realtors that only target older clients because they know that they're going to be selling. So again, you want to really like create your templates for how you work, how you do business, right? So that's going to work best for you. Is a lead response plan automatic? Yes. So okay, you have the lead response rules. So any tasks, task plans that you start, I call them email campaigns, but you can have it so that emails are set up to automatic send. You can also set it up so that you're reminded to send it. It's totally up to you how you want to do this. The lead response rule, this is only for if you have leads that come directly into your CRM. Now, if you do have leads that come directly in, then yes, it will be an automatic plan that gets added to your leads that come in, and they'll get automatic emails and automatic text sent to them.
Yep. Once you have your texting set up and it's been registered, yep, we'll send automatic text messages as well for you. You can add text messaging to your other plans as well.
Absolutely. Awesome. So what's next? We did the follow-up. We kind of covered a few other things with the follow-up, and we're going to go back to the types, and I'm going to, let's go over the types just a little bit more, because I don't think we really covered on how to add types. And I think like using your types is one of the biggest and easiest ways to stay organized. And with our lives, everyone's crazy busy, and being organized is going to make your job just easier, right? And save a little bit of time to do the fun stuff in life too. So just showing you how easy it is to add types. Maybe you have a whole database in here, and you might not have any types right now. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do this. So if you can see exactly what Glenn is doing right here, he just selected 10 contacts that he, and knowing your own database and knowing what contacts you have in there, you're like, okay, I know all these contacts are buyers, or maybe even first-time buyers. So we're going to go in, we've selected them. And at the very top, you have those little icons, and Glenn selected the tag. So you're going to select the tag and you're going to type in the contact type. So you could put in any type from the list. And if it's not in the list, don't worry. Make up your own type, like pickleball. Type in pickleball and you'll get an ad button come up because it's not something that's in the list. And you say add, and then you say add contact types. And that's it. That's all you do. And now all those types you just created got added to those 10 people. I have over 200. Yep. And that's, but like going on your all tab and going through everyone, just click on the people that are going to be the same. That's going to be the easiest way to do it. Yes, you know what? It's going to take some time the first time you do this. But once you get it set up and get organized, and then going forward, anyone that you add, as you add in one by one, give them that type that they need, it's going to be a game changer. Guaranteed.
Just so you know, Dean, if you do have them in 8i, you can still use those types here in X. That part, the database and the types have been ported over already. You will have access, and you could go in and just click on, I'm going to open up any contact, go to the edit here, and go down to where it says contact types. You're going to be able to see the list of everything. And these are taken from both Top Producer X and Top Producer 8i. So you'll be able to see all of them. It'll take a bit to go through. Yep.
Because we just added pickleball. We now have pickleball on our list.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have used 8i in the past, any of the contact types you've created there will transfer over to X.
Awesome. So we've definitely done the types. I really hope that helps everyone. I really hope that people are using that and staying organized, because it's great to stay organized. Here's another way to stay organized. I think this is a pretty cool feature myself. It's property insights. This works for you for staying on top of things. It's also just for your buyers, so it's not sellers. So if you do work with buyers, this is a great tool to use. And I know when this first came out, and I was kind of showing my my realtors like individually when I was on Zoom with them, and I usually ask them like, how do you usually keep track of the homes that you showed your customers? And I had so many people say, oh, well, I have a file folder, or I have a stack of papers. And I was just thinking, then you got to go through them one by one. Like that would just, again, time consuming, right? So we're going to go over to property insights. And to do this, you're going to go into the customer that you're working with. And in the middle column, you have property insights. This will also pull directly from your MLS. So you want to make sure your MLS credentials have been set up to use this. And you're going to say add insight. So you're working with Crystal. This is a fake customer in here, and you're showing them an address, and you can add this by the actual address. Make sure you're not typing too fast, because it will populate at the bottom when you're typing it in. So you see here that like Glenn put the address in, and then you get the drop down that come up with the address. So he's going to choose that. And here you go. Here's the address that he's looking for. So you have this also the interest, which I think is really cool. So it says inquired on. So maybe your customer reached out to you and said like, hey, Dean, I was out driving this weekend and I saw this property and had a for sale sign on it. I'm interested in going to look at it. You would add this and put it as inquired on. And then you would set up that appointment to have your customers go look at it. But you have the interest drop down, and you can choose interested in, not interested, like, maybe you sent them something, they weren't interested in seeing it, you showed it to them, all kinds of different interests that you can choose from. So you want to save this. Let's go ahead and we're going to save this property. And just to kind of see how easy this works, we're going to go add another insight, because I know Glenn's already ready with an MLS ID. We just know how we work. We just know how we work with each other. So you could do it either by address, or you could do it by MLS ID. And so, yeah, you could say search, and there you go. That looks like, looks like it's fall there too.
Yeah. Well, it is fall here on the West Coast, Heather.
This is true. Yes. You guys just don't.
I'm still in the Northern Hemisphere, so I have the same seasons as you do.
Yeah.
Silly girl.
Yes, yes. So we're going to say save property insight. Not likely though that we're going to have a customer that's looking at a $270,000 home and then a 1 point, how do you
1.5. Yeah.
1.5. Yeah, it's a big jump. But anyways, you get the idea. So this is going to show you all the homes that you showed your customer or they're interested in. Maybe like once you get to, and this is going to help you get to know your customer because in this, right in this little picture, I love this. It says add notes. So you got a little notepad that comes up here. Not only can you keep track of the date and time that you showed them the house, you can make notes about what they liked and they didn't like. And instead of waiting until you get back to the office to be like, oh, what was all the things they said about it? Because I mean, your customer is going to ask a lot of questions, or they're going to say what they like and what they don't like about a home. And you can be doing this on your phone in Top Producer while you're at the house showing them. Again, it makes, and that's going to put you as a top realtor because you're on the ball. But I love it. I really like this. I think if you use it right the way it should be used, I think you're going to get great progress with this. So you go in here, you make your note, you put the date and time that you showed your customer. And not only do you see the note in here, you're also going to see it on your dashboard on your most recent notes. And it's going to show you in a second. It just might take a minute to populate. Also, if you go to your note, oh yeah, no, it's right there. Never mind. I had
My
a
internet's not that bad today, Heather. Come on.
I'm talking. I can't read and talk at the same time. Okay.
Oh, right. I forgot.
So you have your notes and you have your dashboard that you're going to see your most recent notes that you made. It also shows you the address, which I think is so cool. Yeah. So, I personally think it's a great feature to use if you're working with buyers and you're showing them lots of homes or any homes at all. It's just a good way to stay organized and be on top of things. And you get to know your customer really quick about what they're liking and they're not liking. And there's a lot of things that customers like and don't like when they're buying a home. I'm certain of it. All right. So, and then, yeah, so we're going to get out of property types, or property insights, sorry. Market snapshot, which kind of goes one-on-one with this as well. So we're going to
You having
quickly,
difficulty today, Heather?
it's been a day, it's been a week, but
Is the puppy dog like licking your toes and tickling you or something? I mean,
no, he's probably passed out on the couch behind me, I think.
jealous. I want a dog's life.
Right. All right. So we have market snapshot, which I think is also another great way that you can use as a follow-up to your customers. So let's just say you're not sure how to follow up with them. Everyone likes getting a market snapshot. Everyone likes looking at homes. So this is what you get by sending a market snapshot. Really easy to do. Now, you don't send them in group or mass. And the reason for this is because you're setting up a market snapshot individually for your customers. Nobody wants to buy the same house, has the same pre-approval, wants the same style, same amount of bedrooms, this and that. So when you're setting up a market snapshot, you're setting it up for your customer as to what they're looking to buy, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, let's do a practice one. Let's go and show you what it looks like to send a market snapshot. You could send it to a seller and you could send it to a buyer. And when we went over the settings and I told you not to turn off your solds for the sending to a buyers, this is why you're going to see why. It has everything to do with the market snapshot. So we're going to go into snapshots in your contact. Okay, maybe I'm going a little too fast. Let's sort of slow down here for a second. In your contact record, you can either go through the middle column and go to snapshots, or you can do it by the marketing tab over on the left-hand side. So there's always more than one way to do things in this system, which I think is great too. So you can, by here, you can go send snapshot, or you can go right back to your customer and send snapshot that way.
I'm going to do it by customer because that way I can just scroll randomly and pick one at random.
Absolutely. So let's go to this fake customer. All right, so we're going to click on send snapshot. Yep. And we're sending it to a buyer. And like I said, every buyer is different. So this buyer has, specific zip codes that they want to live in. And, maybe there's only 2 out of the whole city. I don't know. I know a zip code covers a lot of area, but maybe even that customer has a specific area that they want to live in, not just even a zip code. You can put that in here. It just, you have the options. Obviously, the more information you put in the search, the smaller your search criteria is going to be, but that's okay because you don't want to send your customer 50 listings. They might just run for the hills and be like, that's too much. You want it to be sending them the ones that they're looking for. Unless you get the odd customer that doesn't know what they're looking for. Unlikely. I'm thinking most customers buying a house has a good idea of what they want. So here, search within, you can search within states, zip codes, cities, areas, counties, and subdivisions. You can change it from single family if you have people that are interested only in apartments or condominiums or duplex or townhouses. You can change all this stuff here. So let's just say they only want a condo. You can put that in. Awesome. Oh, no.
Here we go. I hit the wrong
Condo.
button. That was on me, 100%.
And styles, personally, I would leave styles out because I feel like you are really, really narrowing it down. It also has to be what's in the MLS to pull it. So you want to give them a little bit more to choose from, but definitely you want to put in a max price because likely your customers have a pre-approval, or at least they have a good idea what they're going to be pre-approved for. And that's where you want to put in your max. So 1 million. If you're putting in $1 million, you might want to put a minimum price in of, I don't know, 650, 700, give or take. Yeah. Awesome. So you don't want to really say anything below that if you're $1 million is your max price. Then minimum bed, minimum bath. If you're not too fussy, you can leave it out or you can put some information in there. Totally up to you. I know, like myself, I would like a specific year. When it comes to buying a house, I could really, give or take the new builds. I mean, they're nice, but I like the older homes. I like more character. So again, you're working with a buyer, they're going to have that kind of idea, right? So your report frequency, how often do you want the report to be sent out? Just remember though, anything like if you're going to do this like every 4 weeks, give or take, right? This is the full report. If a new listing comes available that matches their criteria, they're going to get notified about the new listing.
So one thing we should always do once you get to this point, there's this button here that says preview listings. Give that a click. The reason for that is Snapshot will send a maximum of 100 properties to your client. That's a lot of properties. So you want to see how many is coming up with. So fortunately, this one only has 12 and it does have active, sold, pending. There's no withdrawn. Oh, hey, we've used that one just as a demo before, and it's actually pending. So that's pretty cool. Somebody decided to buy that one. But this is a great way so you can see what's going on. And then if you do find that there's, say, 200-300 properties here, you can then quickly go back to the snapshot and then edit this part here. The sky is the limit. You can make as many edits as you want or as few as you want. I always say to start off with the minimum and then work your way up just until you get the right grouping of properties you'd like to show your client.
I think 12 is a great number. So I would send that snapshot because it's a good number. So let's send it.
Seriously, hope that is really a fake email address.
Well, guess we'll find out.
Yeah. If I get a response of why'd you send me this, I'll be like, sorry. I gotta redo that.
So then for you to see that report that you just sent, you could just refresh your page or click out of it and click back into it. And we're going to go and see, or you can go to your marketing. That's another way to do it too. And go to your market snapshot tab and you'll see the snapshot that you just sent. The cool thing about this is that you can see the statistics of if your customer has been clicking on the report and such. So great option here. And then the most important part is we want to see what the market snapshot looks like. So let's go view the report at the bottom. And this is what it looks like. And I always suggest too, if you're new at this, add yourself into top producer and send yourself a market snapshot report. so you can see what it looks like. So let's just, I remember when we went back over my info and I said, don't like keep on the solds for your buyers that you're sending to. And this is why. So you're going to see average sold price 3%, average days on market 180. If you take your solds off, this is going to say 0% in 0 days, and it looks like a bad market. So I keep your solds on there, and it's okay. Like, I mean, it gives you an idea, and people can say, hey, what's selling, what's not selling, right? So another cool thing is too, though, I mean, maybe you have more homes in this. 7's not too bad, but you're like, I don't want to scroll through the 2 pending and the 7 sold. So you can just click on it and it will eliminate them from your search. And now you're just going to see the 3 that are for sale, which is great. If you click on the homes that are for sale, it's going to pull everything. It pulls it right from the MLS. So you're going to have, it's just thinking, this is taking a minute here. Yeah, it's going to pull all the photos. You can toggle through them on here. You can check out your property details. Lots of cool information. So yeah, definitely get in here, add yourself to your top producer if you haven't already, and set yourself up and send yourself a market snapshot. That way you can see what it looks like when you send it to your customer, and you just feel a little bit more confident about it too when you're telling your customers because you've used it yourself. So you have a better idea of how it works. All right. Can you set up a search with radius?
Not yet.
No, it goes by zip
Nope.
code, counties, cities, and subdivisions you can
Yeah,
do.
we haven't tried to do a radius one yet, Dean. I know that has been a heavily requested option, but it is actually by zip code, and then you can break it down a little bit lower.
Mhm.
But there is always, as you can see on this, it's a screenshot of our software. We do have a button that says feedback. Click on that. Tell our developers and our leadership you want that. I'd like to
When you
see it in there too. I think it'd be pretty.
absolutely like have a map and just kind of do it that way and see. Yeah, I would like that as well.
Yeah.
Not MLS areas. Now, uh, possibly if you go MLS specific when you're sending, I know I've played around with that a little bit, but not too much because I don't have an MLS. But when you are doing your search, you can go at the bottom, yeah, up a little bit. It says MLS specific right there.
But this
Now,
is specific, like whether you've got condos manufactured. So MLS specific areas might be here in the areas, Dean. You can look, and these might be ones that are broken down. I'm using, because I'm in Vancouver, we have an agreement with the Northwest MLS from Washington. So I have an MLS that I use for testing that goes from Vancouver, Washington, all the way to Blaine, Washington. So it covers the whole state. So you're going to see I've got a lot of areas in here. You would
and you
want
won't
to
be able
choose.
to see this, and you won't be able to see your areas, Dean, until you set up your MLS credentials, and you can send a market snapshot. Then you can click when you go in here, you can click in here and you can see the different areas that you can choose from. So when you get the MLS credentials set up, or we get in touch with you and we help you get that done, then I suggest going and sending yourself a market snapshot, and you can play around with it too.
Yeah,
So.
for sure.
Different colors. Oh, different colors for the types. Yeah, let's do that quick. So we're going to go show Heidi how to do the different colors, and then we're going to go to what's next. But let's go to, so you're going to go to your settings. So either the very bottom left corner or the very top right corner where your photo is, and you're going to go to UI settings. Once you go to UI settings, now there are some types already in here that you can change the color. So anytime you add a new type, it's going to, the default's gray. But if you have a type that's obviously not in this list, you want to go add new color, and then you type in what type you're doing. So pickleball, that's a good one. And I feel like it should be green for pickles.
I'm going to
I
trust
don't
you
know.
on that one.
That's like a neon. Not yeah, there
That
we
better?
go. That's better. That looks more like a pickle. And then save color.
Don't play.
Not only that, you can actually
Oh,
customize the color too, and you can really go crazy. Just be careful with your colors. If they're really too dark, you won't be able to see what it says. And if they're really too bright, it's probably going to hurt your eyes. So, but you can play around with it and adjust it to your liking.
you do realize pickleball isn't played with a pickle.
I know it's not played with a pickle, but
Hey, considering
obviously,
it's pickleball. So green. Just
I can't
throwing that
remember
out
if I
there,
actually
Heather.
played it one. It's kind of like squash, isn't it?
I don't know. I've never played it.
I think I want to say I think it. I could be totally wrong, but I want to say that you play it in the squash room. But maybe I know Dean will probably correct me.
Yes, Heather and I do pick on each other throughout the day. It's one of those things that makes the day a little bit better.
No, we could just Google it too, or
Yeah,
YouTube it.
we could ask the Googles.
Oh, all right. So what's new? And hey, actually, we have something that's coming that's new. So I don't know why I just sang that, but clearly I'm getting a little too excited. But we do, if you are a past client, you probably just recently got an email sent to you. Recently, like maybe yesterday, if you're a past client, we do have a new feature coming out. Would it be a feature or program called Home Intel? So this is new. If you are again, if you're a past client and you want to try this, you can sign up today. And Glenn, you can jump in anytime if you think that I'm messing up, because again, this is new. So from today to the 23rd of October, if you sign up, you can get it, the program for $1 for the first so is it 60 days, right?
Yep.
$1 for the first 60 days, if you're interested in this. And then after the 60 days, if you decide to keep it, it'll automatically change to $29.95 a month. So from what I've seen, it's a pretty cool feature. I think one of my favorite, and like we can't show you right now, unfortunately. This is kind of, I'm just mentioning it. We just had the pre-launch yesterday. It's going to be available to start using on the 24th of October. So if you decide to sign up today, you're not going to get it until the 24th of October, but don't worry, your 60 days won't start until then as well. You just have the option to sign up now to be ready, like be those first people signing up. It's pretty cool though. It's a report that you send to your customers, pretty much telling them exactly like what they can get for their home. And then not only that, I really wish we can show you. We're going to be able to in the coming near future. But we'll be able to show you, like, it does add these little icons in the customer's contact record, and it'll update it with the report, if that's making any sense at all.
It's making sense. Yes. Good job.
Here.
Apparently the Snotsage decided to come say hi. Hi, Frank.
He heard on Home Intel and he got excited.
He's got a nose for new programs. That was lame. I'm sorry. So yeah, I just put a link into the chat. You can take a look at that. And like Heather said, anybody who is an existing top producer customer, only for you, special offer, $1 for the first 60 days. Then it goes up to $29.95. You can cancel it at any time, but give it a try. It's one of those things that you can set up for everybody or even just set up individually. So if you know of people that are thinking they might want to sell soon, this would be a great, great thing to get, and it would show it right there, and you'd have everything you need. We'll double check that. You should have got this email as well, Dean, since you
Yeah,
are.
I think it was just sent out yesterday, my understanding.
Yeah, but he says he hasn't got some since 9/27, so that's been a few days. So
yeah,
check your spam. It might have gone into spam, as much as I hate to say it, but give it a try in there.
just in case. Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. And so again, I don't know if Glenn really mentioned that, but the what's new, you do have that tab on the side of your top producer here, and it will tell you what's new, what's been recently released, what's coming soon. And actually, with that being said too, and I got little snuggles. With that being said, I didn't actually ever, I didn't go over this. We also have AI Author, which is a new feature. It's pretty cool. This is, like if you're stuck on like, oh, what do I need to say to these customers? I need to send them an email and I don't know what to write. You can come in here and this will give you a helping hand. Think of it as a tool to help get the right words out to your customers when you're sending an email. So lots of cool things coming. Yeah, I got a sleepy puppy.
So this is, if anybody is familiar with the program ChatGPT, we actually have a connection with OpenAI, and that's how we're able to do this. So if you are familiar with the ChatGPT, this will just be the same thing as what you're using there. Just instead of having to use a different website, it's right here in your top producer. it is great. Let's say you want to write a bio. Right here, it came up. We already had a couple of things. And here it is. The artificial intelligence is giving me a buyer, or sorry, a bio on itself. It has, and you will see things like this. It will put items in there that you need to update and work with. But one of the things you want to keep in mind is this is just a great way to add or improve upon your own emails. You could always start by putting it in and then asking this to fix it up, like more formal. I can make it more formal.
You
Items like that,
also
just to make it easier for you. Sorry.
Absolutely. And you also want to keep in mind too that anytime you're using an AI to help you with your content or whatnot, it's always just a tool. Kind of it could get you started, or you could even write something out and put it in here and ask it to reword it for you to just kind of polish it up a bit, but don't use it. I suggest that you don't have it printed out and use it at that exactly without making some changes that make it sound like you and that it fits you. All right. And that being said, also keep in mind that AI can still make mistakes, even though they are computers. Yes, they make mistakes too. So we have Social Connect. You may or may not have Social Connect. If you don't, this is a new-ish. I guess it's just been over a year that we started offering this lead program. I'm going to kind of quickly explain how it works here. So if you've signed up, how this works is that we create ads for you based on your active and or sold listings. If you are using it, just remember, it's just an ad. It's not, it doesn't take the customer to that listing. It's just an ad to get their attention. You get to pick the cities for the people that you want to target. So if wherever you live, you want to target a specific city, you could target up to 5. And it's also going to target people based on an algorithm with people that are looking at the market. So with that being said, keep in mind, they're not guaranteed leads. They can be, anyone could look at the market. I mean, I occasionally look at it. And when I was looking to rent, I was looking for rentals on MLS. So essentially I was looking at the housing market. So with that being said, you could get renters, you could get buyers, you could get sellers in no particular order. You can get, I call them looky-loos. It's just the name of the game. It is a numbers game. However, also think of it as a way of just building your database, right? So it's especially if you're a new agent and you don't have a lot of clients, this could be a way to bring some leads in and start from there. When they do come into your system, we already have a plan set up. You don't have to do anything. It automatically sends them an email, automatically sends them a text. You really have to don't have to do anything on your part there. I do suggest though, to call them. Let them know, you're a realtor, where you're located, make it sound genuine. So, because I mean, this day and age, there's so many spam emails and calls, texts going out that you want them to say, hey, I'm a real person on this end. I'm a realtor. I live in this area. This is where our office is located. So if you want to come in and check us out, please do that. If they say, hey, I'm not interested right now, don't think that you've just lost a lead. Just think, okay, well, hey, do you think I could give you a call again in 6 months from now? Maybe you might be interested. So, that's where you come in and use your expertise as a realtor to keep these people interested and or to follow up with them. What do you think?
I think you did a good job there. Now, for one that very important, because I noticed that Dean had mentioned this before, we are mobile friendly. Now, Top Producer does not actually have an app. One of the reasons for that is apps do require space on your phone. They also have to have a database there and also with the Top Producer servers, and you do have to synchronize those back and forth between each other. So what we have done is we have created what's called a mobile-friendly website. What it means is all you have to do is go to the browser of your choice on your phone, go to our website, and you can add it to your home screen. And because Heather is the Android person, because I don't have one yet, I will pass it over to her to explain how to do this.
Awesome. So if you're going to add Top Producer to your cell phone and you're using an Android, so like a Samsung or a Google phone or something like that, And sorry, I'm getting puppy snuggles as I'm talking about that. You can use any web browser that you prefer. So I use Google Chrome, and you open that, and in your search, you're going to type in crm.topproducer.com. And then you'll probably have the link first come up. You're going to click on it, and you're going to have this as your sign in. So once you have this on your page, you're going to click on the three dots in the top right corner. Again, remember, this is only for people with Android phones, not Apple phones. So you're going to click the three dots up in the top right corner, and it'll give you the option to add to home screen. So it literally looks like an app on your home screen. I mean, it's really that easy. And again, and so then when you're at your listing, you can be in the property insights making all those notes that your customers telling you they like and don't like about the home.
Yep.
So.
And if you're on an Apple, you do have to go to crm.topproducer.com through Safari. And when you get to this page, on the very bottom, there's going to be a square with an arrow pointing up. Click on that, scroll through a bit, and you will see add to home screen. And it'll allow the same thing. You just have to log in as normal.
What can't you access, Dean? I'm thinking.
I'm jealous of the fact that your pup is snuggling with you. Mine's upstairs with her mama.
Gracie doesn't do this with me, not so much anyway, a little bit, but not like he does. So if you can't access this, Dean, if you have to be this one particularly that we're showing as an Android, but you're also not going to your app store. It says contact support. For adding it to his phone.
Okay, at this point, I would recommend you reach out to our support team. Okay, so yeah, you don't want to Google it. You just want to go into Safari and go to crm.topproducer.com. Once you go there, you should get the login page and then just log in as normal.
Yeah, so for Apple, it only works with Safari.
Yeah.
Safari web browser.
But we are a little bit over time, and don't worry, Dean, one of us, either myself or Heather, or we'll get one of our other technicians to reach out to you.
Yeah,
so you're going to,
okay. Sorry, so for your iPhone, you're going to go to Safari, and when you're in Safari in your search bar, you're going to type in crm.topproducer.com.
Yeah, don't do a Google search. Actually type in the web link of crm.topproducer.com, and that way it'll bring you directly to the login page. That's where you'll find the info you need.
Yeah, so once you do that, you're going to go, once you have it up on your page, if you're using Apple, at the bottom of the screen, kind of in the middle, you should see, it looks like a square with an arrow pointing up. And is it up or down? Yeah, up.
It's up.
Okay. It's a part of your Apple phone. It's your share button that you might, so it looks like a box with an arrow pointing up out of it. And then you click on there and it will say add or share to home screen. How do we delete contact types from settings? Contact types from
something
settings.
you have to actually do through 8i. Contact types are part of the database. It's not, there's a little bit of a weird way to do it. So I'm going to show you
well, unless you could also delete them individually from your contacts. Unfortunately, you can't delete them as a group yet.
So you would have to go into Top Producer 8i, search for contacts, and then choose your, let's just get rid of all the fake contacts, which is everybody.
If Heidi hasn't been with us for a while, maybe. Heidi, have you used 8i before?
If you haven't,
no, okay, she hasn't used 8i before. So this is probably
yeah, so you would have to go in, you would have to search, like I said, choose the contact type you don't want anymore, select it, search, select all, and then you'd have this button down here at the bottom that says mass update. You click on that, and you want to remove.
I don't have Safari on my phone.
Contacts.
And it's an Apple phone? Should have
Safari. You have an Apple phone, you have Safari.
Yeah, Safari comes with Apple.
Yep. It is actually built into the operating system. We'll have someone help you out, Dean. Don't worry about that. So now you notice, Heidi, there's nobody now with that specific contact type. The problem is now you actually have to go in here, find any random contact, view them, go to contact details, and you're going to see this spot where it has the different names. You click on them and then select from modify, and then you'd have to go through here and find them. A lot of times once you've removed them from the people, it does go away. But
We could just
that is
quickly
one of
show
the,
you too how to remove them individually from a contact in Top Producer X. I don't like showing somebody 8i that's never used it before could be a little bit
sorry, I
overwhelming.
went into technician brain. You know
But we
me.
could probably even send, do we have those in support? How to delete that? Maybe, maybe
I
not
think so. But
for
let's just
8i.
say if you're in, like
Okay.
here,
So,
Jordan's demo. Jordan was one of our teammates who
oh,
got herself a really good opportunity, so we wished her well, but she won't be doing a demo anymore. So if I need to get rid of that contact type, I just click on the X.
yeah, and then scroll down and hit save.
Yeah.
That's how you delete the type from a individual contact. Unfortunately, at this time, you can't do a mass delete in Top Producer X. Just delete. And like when you're in a contacts record, so you click on Olga, these are all fake contacts. When you click and you just click edit contact, you can make changes in here. Maybe you're in there for some whatever reason you're doing work with them and you need to add contact types or delete them. This is where you can come and do it individually. And then again, make sure you always save and not just close it. Otherwise it won't save.
Right.
But to mass delete contact types, we could probably send you the steps. Like there would be steps how to do it through 8i if that's something you really want to do. Otherwise for now, just do
Yeah, I
it
would,
individually. Yeah.
if you can just do it that way, it's going to save you a little bit of a hassle.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, a lot of a hassle. But one thing, as always, we do have our support site at support.topproducer.com. If you go there, there is a search that you can search out any of the items that you might be looking for help with. Our webinar schedule is at the top of that, and we are actually looking for improvements. And if there are specific webinars that you would like to know about or have us actually do, please let us know. You could also send that via the email address I mentioned before at support@topproducer.com. Any information like that or suggestions, we're happy to hear them. But you will see the schedule and the most recent recording will always be shown up on that page. And then we also have a quick video library there. But just in case you want to be able to get all of our videos, youtube.com/topproducersoftware. I will have this one edited and uploaded hopefully before the end of today or possibly early tomorrow. And that way you can review it when you need. Considering it is a little bit longer, you can also skip through points where Heather and I are forgetting how to English.
Yeah, if you want to hang out and see a little Frank photo. His
Yep.
name's Frank, but yes, we named him after a sausage.
Yep.
A German sausage because he is a German dog and he's a little wiener dog.
Yes. And
So
Heather,
original, eh?
yes, we're the advantage of working from home. You get to hang out with your dogs. We also do have a blog at topproducer.com/blog. It does give you updates on new information from Top Producer, and we also do like to share success stories and industry news there as well. We do have a Facebook user group at facebook.com/group/topproducersoftware, where again, you can get more information from us. And as mentioned before, we do have our live chat or email to help you out with all your problems, and hopefully not problems, but even for suggestions and info. And we do have our concierge onboarding team, which is Heather and I and our friend Marvin right now, who's helping us out because Heather and I are just so awesome that they didn't realize they needed more people on the team. So they're presently hiring more.
We are growing.
Yeah.
There'll be more of us soon.
Yeah.
What do I get when I get there on my
Get
phone?
it on your phone. You just use Top Producer as normal. It's
Yes.
that simple. Yeah. So
Oh,
we'll
if he has it on your phone, you haven't added it to your page yet. You see it on your phone, you should see at the bottom of your screen somewhere in the middle, it looks like a square with an arrow pointing up. That's a part of your Apple. It's your
yeah.
share screen. You'll click on that and then you'll have a box pop you and you can scroll through it. It gives you an option to add to home screen or share to home screen. And that's,
Okay, that's if you're getting something wanting
it
to
wants
sell
to
to
sell
you,
me.
if you want to be sold, you're not there's something is not going to the right place. So
Yeah.
we'll have you looked after. Okay, my friend? We'll get
Yeah.
you taken care of.
We'll reach out to you, Dean.
Yeah. So with that, I do need to let everyone get back to their daily
Yeah.
grind. Status of labels on X to be determined. They're still looking at the best way to do it for you, Cheryl. I know exactly which labels because it is officially label season because Thanksgiving and Christmas and the 1st of January are coming up. It
Oh,
isn't something that we have just yet. I'm sorry to say. But
yeah.
again,
Labels, yes, yeah.
please go to this tab right here that says feedback on Top Producer. Send that to our developers that we need mailing labels in Top Producer X, and hopefully I can guarantee we won't have it for this year, but hopefully we'll have it for next year. I hate that I have to say we don't have that.
Hey, boy.
Yeah. All right, and with that, we do appreciate your time today. Again, this will be uploaded later, and have Heather say something so that you can end the Zoom with a picture of a pretty puppy.
Hi, guys. Thanks for joining us today.
Perfect. Take care, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye, Frank.